Next stage is going to be open-ended questions. You determine the direction you want to go with these, but think in the format of thesis and then evidence. Thesis is your answer. Evidence is what backs up your answer. A couple of example questions are, how would others describe you, or why do you want to work for this company? In this first one, your thesis might be, others describe me as hardworking. Your evidence might be, on average, I was the first to show up in the morning and the latest to leave, and I would often do work over my lunch break just to ensure that I was producing a quality product. Next form of question, and these are probably the most important, are behavioral. They usually follow this format. So, tell me about a time when blank. Tell me about a time when you had to work really hard to accomplish something. You had to complete something as part of a team. You had a difficult supervisor. The questions are really limitless, but I want to offer you a format for answering them. This is called the STAR technique. It's an acronym for situation, task, action, and result. An example of this would be, tell me about a time when you had to handle a lot of different details. Your situation. I was tasked with creating an Excel spreadsheet, and my specific job was to enter in data from the last 4 years of sales. Action, how did you get it done? So what I first did is I broke down the sales from year to year, from month to month, and that way I would ensure that I'd enter them in accurately as well as chronologically the order in which they happened. Result. As a result, my supervisor really enjoyed my work, and they are still using that same spreadsheet today to calculate projected sales. So that's how you kind of quickly go through the STAR method to get to your answer, and the biggest part of that, the end result. Another thing I'd suggest is something called story circles. As I mentioned before, they could ask you a variety of different questions regarding, so tell me about a time when blank. The biggest hiccup here that people have is they look back at their entire life and try to find a story that works well. And in doing so, they often bring up stories that aren't really related, or they get halfway through the story and they realize this actually doesn't make me look very good. So I'd encourage you to do something called story circles. Story circles, you pre-approve 4, 5, maybe 6 stories about yourself from different areas of your life. These are stories in which you accomplished something really amazing and you really shine brightly. Here's an example from a person's work history. And notice, they can use this story for multiple questions. Tell me about a time when you dealt with project management, problem solving, taking initiative, working independently, critical thinking. These are 5 questions that all can be summed up using the same job and the same experience. And you know that this experience was a positive one because you already pre-approved it. And so you know that it's going to show you in a positive light. So think about the different areas of your life, career, volunteer, academic, leisure, and come up with one solid story from each of these areas. And that will ensure that you'll cover all the bases so that no matter what question they ask you, you'll be able to find a pre-approved story that really makes you shine in a positive manner and answers the question well.